All right. All right. Well, good morning, everyone, and welcome to Create Your Speech in a Weekend. We just had our introductions, and now we're going to start our formal training. So everybody's printed out their manuals. Yes. Excellent. Now, just a little disclosure on the page 1 where it's the welcome from me. Just remember there's some highlights there about how you can use this information on an ongoing basis, how you can get the most out of it. Of course, being present here as much as you can. I know, we have things sometimes that come up. Taking notes, taking copious notes is really important because we retain a lot more by handwriting them, not so much as typing them on the computer, but handwriting notes. So feel free to handwrite them in your manual so everything's in one place. Because what happens is people will misplace their notes, right? It happens all the time. I hear it and they're like, oh, so write this manual. You've got a copy of it. So you can feverishly write in this manual and print it again if you need a fresh cover because you've got it. Now, saying that this, of course, this manual and all the systems, it's for your eyes only. It's not to pass to anybody. It's not to teach anybody. I do have a legacy program that if any of you, for whatever reason, wants to become a public speaking trainer and be trained by me to go out and teach this stuff to the world, let me know because there is a program, a year-long program to do just that. But otherwise, it's for you and for you to learn to grow your business using these techniques. All right, so let's begin. So everybody, I just want to run what we've gotten that is printed. So this is the system we are going to learn and work on today and tomorrow, step by step, and you're going to be building your speech. It's fillable, so if you're a computer person, you can put it on the computer. If you want to write it out, you can. Now, here's what I don't want you to do, or what takes time. Let me say that. Writing it on a, like a tablet like this, and then trying to transfer it here later, because it takes too much time. It'll take you like 30 minutes, and that's just too much time. Write it, put it in pencil if you have to, but write it directly on this worksheet or type it in, and then you can retype it in if you need to. Again, it's cutting the time so that you're not rewriting, because that's such a big waste of time. So we have that. You have the whole system here. Remember, I mentioned on one of my passionately speaking calls, it's like 26 steps. That's every single step. So for those that like to see the future, right? Instead of just what's in front of them, you can see the whole roadmap. This is the roadmap. All right. And then you just have a couple of extra things, which is how to prepare, which is a little checklist. And of course, my 5-minute formula, which we're going to talk about too, because our speaking time is getting shorter and shorter these days. Everything else, of course, is in the appendix in the manual. I always like to give a few extras. All right, so we are going to get started. So we are going to go to our first beginning, page 4, which is eliminating the fear of speaking. Now, some of you have that fear, but somebody like Luana has been speaking forever, may not have that fear. So we'll spend a little time on it. But how many of you, I know Michelle has a little bit of fear around the speaking. Cheryl has a little fear, and Ardina, admittedly. So let me share with you how you can eliminate, and I know Karen shared a little bit as far as videos, on really some techniques, and I'll just kind of spotlight them, and you can go back and read all these details. But if we're on page 4. So the first thing you want to do is to really prepare your presentation. A lot of people are nervous because they didn't plan enough. They didn't prepare enough. They're just kind of winging it. And when you wing it, you get wing it result. And fear, and there's room for fear to step in because you're not fully prepared and you know it. So how do you plan your presentation? You want to make sure that you outline it. So today I gave you the system, which is to outline your speech. We do not write out your speech. Ladies, please promise me that you will never write out your speech. And the reason is because you'll become a prisoner of your own words. You will want to memorize it and say it exactly like you wrote it. And that's not what makes, a great speech. You know your information. So we are going to write out like our attention grabber and a few things, but the meat we do not write out, that we outline it only. So fear comes in sometimes too when people write their entire speech because they're afraid they're going to forget. Well, you are going to forget it. And it happened to me years ago before I got trained. I'm speaking, and when I was in corporate America in front of 200 people, most of them were men. They were geeks. And I was talking about accounting software, and I had 2 or 3 other of my colleagues that were talking about different accounting software. I wrote out my speech by hand because that was in the 80s when we didn't really have computers yet, right? They just started coming out. That's why I was setting up financial accounting systems. But I didn't have my own, so it wasn't like I could type it myself. So I went out there, spoke it, tried to, of course, remember everything. I forgot. Deer in the headlights look, right? Like that, sheer panic. And then I said, thank you real quick. Of course, I flipped through my notes to try to find my place. I couldn't, and I literally almost ran off the stage, totally embarrassed. Now, that cost me a lot of potential clients that day. Not only that, but I was on a panel afterwards with all 5 of us. I was very quiet, if you can believe it, because I was so embarrassed that I was not being vocal about anything. I was just waiting to be asked and hoping nobody would even notice me. So it can really have a boomerang effect. So just don't write it out because you will forget. You can't memorize. Nobody can memorize it word for word. And then you have a lot of papers. And I'm working with a gal right now, coaching a gal that's done this. And we are trying to undo what she's done. And it's taken her twice as long. She's got to re-up with me because I can't undo what she's done. We got to throw it out and start over because she's in love with her words. But she's a writer, right? So writer is right? So be careful if you're a writer. Don't. All right. So that's one fear that can happen is the fear of forgetting what you're going to say. The way to eliminate that fear is trust your instincts, trust your knowledge. You know your stuff. You know your story. All of you just shared a bit of your story. You don't even have to write out your story. Now, the beauty of being free, it is being free from your script. But you still say it and rehearse so many times that you become that script. So you don't have to worry. I tell my story the same exact way every time. And the more you hang out with me, the more you'll know that, right, Ardina? Ardina's been around for 3 years. It's the same, right? Because I've said it so much. I didn't write it down. I just said it so much and I heard it. So I tend to say, I just go into auto mode. I tend to say it the same way. Now you have to be careful because you have to keep it fresh, which we'll talk later when we talk about the storytelling. But don't worry about forgetting. You practice enough and you will become that script. But you'll never, the content is just too big. You want to be flexible with the content because you want to be free for if a story came in your mind that you weren't going to share and you want to share with someone, you want to be free to, okay, I can do that and come right back to my script without a hitch. All right, so plan, outline, and practice. Practice that 1 hour for every 2 minutes of speech. Now, someone recently, an old client of mine that's on our Passionately Speaking call, she said to me, she goes, I've always wondered why you never said 30 minutes for what, let me see, because I say 1 hour or for every 2 minutes. So she's like, why don't you say 30 minutes per minute, right? And I'm like, because that's too hard to calculate, right? If you say 1 hour for 2 minutes, then when you have a 30-minute speech, you cut it in half, that's 15 hours you got to practice, right? If it's a 20-minute speech, it's 10 hours. It's easy. You don't have to go, okay, 30 minutes, there's 2 times, right? So 1 hour for every 2 minutes of speech. So practice your presentation and of course, prepare yourself. That will give you the confidence, we're on page 5, that you need. Prepare yourself ahead of time, right? Whatever that means, lay out your clothes, make sure I go to my closet, like I'm filming Saturday, go to my closet, make sure everything's dry cleaned, make sure that I have everything in order, make sure my shoes, even though they're not seen, that I have them ready, all of that stuff. You just want to prepare because it can mentally just kind of give you something where you don't even have to worry about it, think about it. There's nothing worse than going to your closet and something you were going to wear, you go, it's in the laundry, right? Or, it's not ready. So prepare yourself and then visualize is the next one. Always visualize your success. Visualize your success. You can journal your success, write it down. People love to hear me speak, make affirmations, whatever it is that you have to do. And then number 3, which is the most important, is always remember it's not about you. That speech is not, the speech we're writing this weekend is not for you. It's for your audience. Remember, it's that speech that only you can share, right? To the people that can only hear it from you. And that speech will save someone's life, their business, or their soul. And so all of you are nurturers here. So excited, you're all nurturers. So that tells me that this speech is going to help somebody in their suffering. That's what you're here to do. So we have to remember when we feel that little nervousness, we go, it's not about me. It's about, somebody in my audience that really needs to hear this. And I have to be my best and perform my best so they will hear it. So just remember, it's not about you. And then there's little techniques that you can do that we're going to learn along the way, physical techniques, like keeping your audience, of course, involved so that the eyes aren't all on you, but they're on the audience. So we're going to talk in great length about audience participation, both in the Zoom room and out the Zoom room. And we're going to talk about those kind of techniques. But one of them that you're going to learn in just a couple minutes is the very first technique of that attention grabber. When we are nervous and we first step on that stage and we're a little bit nervous, when we blow out that attention grabber as big and far as we can with great energy, that gives them that nervous energy. And when they participate, it comes back to us as energy. So just know that nervousness is common. I've experienced it as well, but I know how to manage it. Now, yesterday, I have days where, where I'm just working in the office, so I don't get dutied up, right? But yesterday was one of those days. I did wash my hair and take a shower, but I didn't put any eye makeup on, right? Because I'm working on an event and I'm just got to get into it. And I don't want to take the time, to put all that stuff on. So I'm sitting at my desk, it's 11 o'clock, and I get a phone call on my cell. And it's a guy that I know and his wife that I've shared the stage with many times. And his wife has a networking event on that day. And I knew about it. I got her email, but I don't want to go. I got to work, right? And all of a sudden he tells me, our speaker is sick. Can you fill in? Right? And of course, I said yes, right? You say yes, and then you figure it out later. So now I'm scrambling. I mean, sure, I've got my PowerPoint, I've got my signature talk, which is what you're going to learn and develop this weekend, your signature talk, the one that you can pull out that sets you up for business, right? And so, I was ready. I had to do a few tweaks because of the time limit. And then I was ready and I got on the call and they quickly put makeup on. Be surprised how quick you can do it when you don't have the time. But you have to be ready always and always ready. So we're going to get that signature talk, and you're going to continue to develop it after this weekend. Part of the way you're going to develop it is by giving it. And then you hear yourself, you go, I need to tweak that. I need to add this story. So this is a work in process, right? A work in progress, work in process. All right. So again, getting back to the fear, when we give that attention grabber out to our audience, it comes back as energy. That's the first start. And then we continually throughout our presentation want to make it about our audience by involving them through different techniques that I'm going to show you. And that's how you can do it. The last way you can eliminate the fear is speak more often. Consistency is key. Consistency. And there are still going to be some times where you might be a little bit nervous. You know, I might be in the room and that might make you a little bit nervous, right? Now, that was with me one time. My mentor was in the room and I had to introduce myself for the first time, right? So I just use humor, right? You can use humor and that can make everybody relax. So I was at a Jay Abraham conference and he was talking about assets, knowing your assets. And we were all at big round tables. Back in the day, there was 150 people from all over the world. I was quite nervous and intimidated. I had just started my company and I'm with my mentor. And I mean, these are millionaires and billionaires, and I'm making like $5, right? You know, I mean, I'm like not even making any money yet. And so I had to stand up and introduce myself. And so I just said, before I started, I said, excuse me, I want to first, and I don't, you know, I always say, don't let people make you sweat. But this time I just said, oh, excuse me. First, I want to apologize to the people behind me for showing them my biggest asset, right? So everybody laughed, and then that relaxed me. And then I could deliver without my you know, knees knocking and my voice shaking. So if you have a little shtick of humor, you know, and again, I knew that when I've used it before. And so it was just so appropriate after what he was just teaching us. So humor can help you as well. All right, so that's enough about that. So we're going to jump right in. And the first step, is there any questions about any of that first? We're going to move really fast this weekend, but this is for you. So you stop me if you need to say something or ask a question. Yes, Michelle?
Well, so you brought up a really good point when you say like tweak, tweak, tweak. So when I'm preparing a speech and I'm going over it and practicing it, I continue to tweak it. And then that's where my perfectionism comes in, because then I want to deliver it exactly how I tweaked it. So that's where I need your help.
Good. Okay. When I say tweak, I'm not talking about, you probably write everything out word for word.
I do.
Yeah, I suspected. When I say tweak, I'm talking about, ooh, this would be a good place for a story. I'm going to add a story here, right? Yep. Or, oh, that attention grabber, that this is a different audience. They want something else, so I'm going to change my attention grabber. That's all I mean. I don't mean throw away the whole speech, the baby with the bathwater. Just tweak it per audience, you know, special audiences, or, you know, if it's all women, maybe you want a woman's story instead of a man's story, you know, that kind of tweaking. But your basic framework is always the same. Your basic information is always the same. Yes, Cheryl, got your hand up?
Yes. You know, I really wanted you to know that was exactly how I used to do it. Write out each and every single solitary word. I'm glad that you're going to train me not to be a prisoner to that, because as I think about it, I think that's why I was so fearful, because I know my humanity. I know no matter how much I practice, it's possible that I can make a mistake. And so that was always in my mind. I was prepared. I knew a lot of the knowledge. And so if I just went forth with speaking it, maybe it would come out great. But if I'm trying to read in my head exactly what I wrote, I'm obviously going to miss an A and a the. And I don't even, as that perfectionist, I can't miss an A or a the or the whole thing's broken, you know? So I think that's where all my fear came from, was because I never in my life plan to I never planned to just have an outline and do it extemporaneously. As that, it was just going to be, I just got to practice more. I just got to memorize better. And so this is really, I feel so much better that you're going to teach me to break away, because I have been a prisoner to that, and that's has held me back. That's why it's held me back, because I'm so human. You know, I have so many flaws. I've just never felt that I'm going to be perfect enough. So I just can't do it yet, because I got to learn it. I got to read it. I got to know. So this is very liberating for me. Thank you.
Good. How many of you have written out your speeches in the past? Right. You're not alone. See, they call it, it's a misnomer because they call it write a speech, right? Write a speech. So everybody takes it literally, meaning write out the whole thing. So you're not alone, but you're going to learn a new method and be free to just be and be present and just to share your knowledge. And again, you'll share it pretty much, you know, you'll stay on track because we'll have 1, 2, 3, or we'll use an acronym. So you'll know what you're going to say, but again, it's just an outline and not word for word. Yeah. Okay, great. All right, so let's go to, okay, so we're on page 6. So the first thing, now you're going to grab your, this outline, the $1 Million Speaker Outline, right? And we are on page 6. And the first thing we're going to do to start our speech, we're jumping right in, and we'll do this and then we'll take a little break. We're going to take a break every 90 minutes, just like as if we were live. We just don't need to take as long, that's all. All right, so the first thing we're going to do is do the title of our talk. This is how I start all my speeches. I find that the title is kind of like having an address, right? And so if you were to go see Jeanette, she would give you her address, and you would, you know, put it in a GPS and you would head that direction. That's the same with your title. So it's our direction that we're going to head with all of you know, our content. It's also the key benefit or the promise of what we promise our audience. It's also our marketing piece. Oftentimes it's all people see or hear before they decide they're going to come and see you speak. So it serves many purposes. So it's very critical that we do, you know, get a good one. Doesn't have to be perfect, but we get a good one. So there's some examples on page 6. You can plug and play, or you can come up with your own. People love, just in context, people love how-tos. They love to know stuff, right? They love secrets. They love numbers. Questions are not titles. They're not good titles. They're just questions. So stay away from questions. All right? So remember, what are you promising to deliver? So let's take about 5 minutes. Here's what I want you to do. I want you to write 3 of them. Okay, again, this is for your signature talk. So for Luana, it's all about healing with journaling, right? All about that. So 3 or 4 titles. Then what we're going to do is go around the room and we're going to vote on them. So you have a sample of what your audiences want and what they would resonate with. So write 3 of them, maybe a how-to, maybe a secret, and really be creative. Okay. So 5 minutes, I'm going to give you 5 minutes on the clock. Okay, 5 minutes. All right, so you do independent work, and I'll be right back. One more minute. One more minute. Six. All righty. All right. So let's come back. I can't wait to hear some of these great titles. All right, who's ready to start? All right, Karen.
Well, like here are the 3 that I came up with. Top 10 tips to having extensive boundaries. 10 easy ways to get your needs met. And the third one, 10 secrets to restoring integrity and wholeness.
Okay, those are very, very good. But one of the things I don't think it touches on is who it's for.
Oh,
You have a very niche market. It's to help nurses get out of the burnout. It's to help RNs to have a bigger life or whatever.
Yes.
So I think for you, not always, I mean, those are great titles, but I might come to it and then find out, oh, it's not for me because I'm not a nurse. You see?
For nurse, so should I add like top 10 tips to having extensive boundaries for nurses?
Yes, something like that. Yes, exactly. So we'll come back, we'll circle back around. So just kind of tweak those. So if your niche is very specific, like even if it was financial advisors or homeowners, we would have to say, something about the homeowners just to make sure that we've targeted the right market. So see, for me, it's like my, signature talk, speak up, get clients. So I go to business places. So I don't have to say for business owners, but when I say public speaking, I'll say top 10 tips, top 10 public speaking tips for business owners. So I have that like on a YouTube channel. So there's times where I have to be very, very specific on the target. Okay, but if you're just doing, and same with Jeanette, right? Now, if she was just talking about joy, we all want more joy. I don't care how old you are, but because hers is more of a tech, finding joy with tech, finding joy in tech, in technical stuff, we have to be a little more specific. Okay, so who else is ready? All right, Beth. We can't hear you. Don't you hate that? If I had a nickel for every time I said you're muted, or every time somebody told me I'm muted,
my mouse wouldn't go there. So I was like, okay, this is like, I don't know where I am. So to make a title is really difficult.
okay, that's fine.
So I have 4 here. So is here where I'm going. The most common health mistakes women make. Oh no, the most common health mistakes we're probably making now.
Okay, that works. And even adding the women, if you're just going to talk to women, works.
Yeah, the most common health mistake women make. No, see, I've got to figure out where to put it in there. Okay, the second one is the ins and outs of being the CEO of your health.
Okay.
The power of good health and how it can help you win in everything.
Okay.
And 3 deadly health mistakes women make and how to fix them.
Okay, the last one was the best of all of them. I mean, we'll vote, but let's do one without trying to do a plug and play for what's here. So if you just, we're talking about health, what is it that you want to promise people?
I want to teach you how to be the CEO of your health.
Yeah, the problem
It's so boring. That's so boring.
yeah. So it's like, no, I don't really want that. But if you said, you know, how to have vibrant health, how to have endless health, how to stop the aging process, I mean, I'd be all woo.
Okay, aging is, I think that's a significant one. I think I like
For
the,
women, yes.
yeah, 3 deadly health mistakes that women make that age them and how to fix them.
Yeah, I love it, but it's a little bit long. How could you shorten that? How could you shorten it?
3 deadly mistakes women make that age.
Age them. That age them. That's it. Or instead of 3 deadly mistakes, could you say 3 health mistakes? Instead of deadly.
I could, but don't you like deadly?
I kind of do.
Like,
Yeah.
and you know, when we're talking about health, it is all about not dying. So
yeah, that's true. I do like it. Okay, then let's keep that.
So, but I think that's okay. So, and I don't know how many I really have, so I may tweak that number, but 3 deadly, I'm going to look at that. Health is boring and people don't want to hear it. And, you know, and most of us, that's our life that we are so passionate about, but people don't want to hear health. They want to hear look better, feel better.
Stop aging, yeah. Well, they know they need help. They feel guilty about it, so they don't want to talk about it. They're in denial.
Yeah.
You know, and I mean, even though I eat really healthy, I do sometimes have processed foods, and I know I shouldn't, but I do, right?
Yeah, so
it comes in a box, a jar, you know, is processed. You know, so yeah, you just have to limit it. But yeah, I think the aging for you is a big one.
Okay, let me work on that a little bit. Somebody else be brave, and so I can get some better ideas.
Okay, all right. Who wants to go next? We'll come back around to you too. All right, Michelle.
Okay, I'll go. 15 keys to aging well and living your best life yet. 15 keys to life-changing transformation and living your best life yet. Or 5 deadly mistakes people make with their health and how to avoid them.
Okay, I don't think on the first 2 you need the word yet. Try it without the word yet.
And living your best life. Okay.
Your best life.
Okay.
So say those again. So everybody, what we're doing now is we're going to vote for the best one that she'll use this weekend.
Okay.
So listen up and then we'll vote.
I know if 15 keys is too many, but that like I did that because of my book, but okay.
Yeah, 15 for a 30-minute speech is too many.
It
you
is.
Can have 3 to 5.
Or maybe it's the top 5.
Yeah, 3 to 5. Yeah.
Okay.
From 3
okay. So then let's do top 5 keys to aging well and living your best life.
Okay.
Top 5 keys to life-changing transformation and living your best life. And then the third one was the 5 deadly mistakes people make with their health and how to avoid them.
Okay, so do we need top? Can we just say 3 keys? Do we need the word top? Because it is a little long, but I'm wondering if we need the word top in there. Because then you want to put a the in front of it, the top. What if we just said 3 keys?
Okay.
I mean, I'm just asking if you like that, 3 keys to say it without the top.
Okay.
Say it.
3 keys to aging well and living your best life.
Yeah.
3 keys to life-changing transformation and living your best life.
Mm-hmm.
And I didn't change the other one, but I can say it again.
Okay, so say them all three one more time, and then now everybody listen up. Whatever you're doing, just listen, and because you're gonna vote, you only get one vote, right? And what you're looking for, Michelle, is majority. Okay, all right, so let's
Okay.
try again.
3 keys to aging well and living your best life. 3 keys to life-changing transformation and living your best life. 5 deadly mistakes people make with their health and how to avoid them.
Okay, all right, so now just, I want to clarify, is your product for everyone? Because the last one sounds like it's for everybody.
Well, and we could change it to women because I'll probably be focusing more on women.
Oh,
So yeah, because I'll be focusing more on women, although it really is for everyone, but probably the men aren't really going to care. They're going to be in that denial phase. I could change it to women. Yep.
okay. You don't have to change it. I was asking for clarification.
Yep.
All right, so, all right, so who wants number 1? I think I like number 1. 1, 2, 3, you have 4 votes for number 1. Okay, number 2, that had the word transformation in it. Number 2. Number 3,
I was like,
Okay.
can I vote twice?
no, you get 1 vote, Karen. So you have 3 and 4. So it's really, yeah, so it's really up to you. Or no, it should be 4 and 4, right? So
Yeah,
who's
it's
the
fine.
last one again? 1, Alice, 1. Okay, so 4 and 4. So you can really pick whichever one. So here's what we do, ladies. We keep all the titles because when you're talking to somebody about a speaking engagement, you might say the 3 keys to whatever, and they go, yeah. They go, okay, well, how about this title? How to whatever. And then they go, yeah, I like that one. It's the same bloody talk, right? It's your same signature talk, just a different title. They just like one title over the other title. That's the same thing you talk about. All right. So I like mine, I could call it Speak Up, Get Clients. I've called it in the past, how to generate unlimited leads, how to double your time off and triple your income. I've done all that's the same bloody talk. It's the same, just different title. Okay, all right, good. So Michelle, you've got yours. You pick whichever one you want for this weekend. Keep the other one though for future use. All right, who wants to go next? Ardina.
Okay. The first one is Secrets to Preserving Legacy Through Memorable and Everlasting Art. The second one is 3 Secrets to Preserving Your Legacy Through Memorable Art. And the third one is How to Preserve Legacy Through Art.
Okay, now I would take out the ing. You don't need preserving, you just need preserve. Whenever you use ing in a title, it weakens it. So you want to strengthen it by taking that out. That's for everybody.
Okay.
Okay. All right. So say those 3 one more time. Listen to it. Mark it down which one you like, and then we'll vote.
Okay.
And
Number 1.
Ardina, you'll lead the vote. So you'll go 1, 2, 3.
Okay. Number 1, Secrets to Preserve Legacy Through Memorable and Everlasting Art. Number 2, 3 Secrets to Preserve Legacy Through Memorable Art. Number 3, How to Preserve Legacy Through Art. Mhm.
I might just add your legacy.
Okay.
How to
preserve your
legacy through art.
Okay.
Because otherwise, I don't want legacy. How to preserve legacy. I'm like, what is that? But my legacy through art, yeah. So one more time, run through it. Just change that to your.
Okay. That was just the last one, right?
Well, didn't you have another one that had legacy in it?
I had your in that one.
Oh, good. Okay, good.
Mhm.
Okay.
Okay. Secrets to Preserve Legacy Through Memorable and Everlasting Art.
Your legacy. See, it needs to be your in all of them.
Oh, got it. Secrets to Preserve Your. Okay. Got it. All right. One more time. All right. Number 1, Secrets to Preserve Your Legacy Through Memorable and Everlasting Art.
Good.
3 Secrets to Preserve Your Legacy through memorable art.
Mhm. I like that one.
How to preserve your legacy through art.
Beautiful. All right, so take us through the vote, Ardina.
Okay. How many for number 1? Okay. How many for number 2?
1, 2, 3. Okay,
And how many for number 3?
4, or number 3, yeah.
Okay, so
1, 2, 3, 4.
it's number 3.
All right,
All right, thank
beautiful.
you.
Good job. All right, who wants to go next?
I would, but I'm gonna have to rewrite these since you said take out the ing.
Well, just whatever word you have, just take out the ing. So it shouldn't be,
Yeah, I had self-discovery through journaling.
well, journaling we want,
Uh-huh.
because that's what, a noun, yeah,
Okay, 5 benefits from journaling
got it.
and how journaling can set you free.
Okay, what about the healing? Weren't you gonna do something with healing through journaling?
Wait, this is what came in my head for now. This
Got
is
it,
a work in
okay.
progress.
We're going with it. We're going with it.
I can think on that, but that's what came to me. Actually, I had 5 things and 2 of them I looked at and go, nope, don't have nothing to do with this.
It's perfect. Okay, so say 'em one more time and then everybody write down the one you like.
Self-discovery through journaling,
Okay.
5 benefits from journaling, how journaling can set you free.
I love them. Okay. Take us through the vote.
How many for number 1?
Okay, 1, 2, got 2.
Okay. And number 2, 5 benefits from journaling. Nope. And how journaling can set you free.
I love that one.
Okay,
So you've got full house almost.
okay. Go with
Okay,
that.
there it is.
Thank you,
Excellent.
ma'am.
All right, Lavana, great job. Who's next?
I'll go.
Okay, Alice.
Luana, the last time we met her, she talked about healing through journaling, and I was waiting for that.
Yeah, me too.
Okay, so 24 hours to get creditors off your back.
I love it.
Oh, I love
5 ways to avoid losing your home when you're in foreclosure. 24 hours to financial peace.
Okay, let's do them again and write down the one you like.
24 hours to get the creditors off your back.
Mhm.
5 ways to avoid losing your home when you're in foreclosure.
Mhm.
24 hours to financial peace.
Okay, take us through.
Who like number 1? How about number 2? And number 3?
There's your answer. And what about you, Jeanette? Which one did you vote for? Okay, so it's unanimous. We love that. 24 hours to
Number
financial peace. I'm so glad you said peace and not freedom, because we've heard freedom, of course, before. So I like that word, peace. Yeah. And you have a broader audience too. It's not just people in foreclosure. That could be one piece of it. But then you could talk about all kinds of, credits and all kinds of things. See, one thing great about a title that's a little bit ambiguous is that you're not committed to what you have to put in there.
Mhm.
You have more freedom on what you can put in there, mix and match. Yeah. Okay, good. I love it. And already you can use the acronym PEACE.
Right.
You can use the acronym PEACE, or you could use money, right? Love it. Okay. But yeah, PEACE would be a great acronym for you. All right, next. Who wants to go next? Jeanette, are you ready? And then we want to circle back around to Karen and to Cheryl as well. Okay, Jeanette?
Okay. Senior social media, nothing to fear but fear itself. How to break through the generational digital tech divide. 5 ways family caregivers can use technology.
Okay, now the first one's a bit long, so we might want to shorten that down. But, and the third one has the target, but it sounds like it's for caregivers, or is it for the seniors?
It's really, I target it more for the family caregivers of seniors.
Okay, I didn't get that the first time we talked about it. Okay, so good, because that's good. That's like feeding somebody how to fish, you know, teaching them how to fish so they can go. Okay, all right. What was that third one then? Say that one more time for me.
5 ways I'll put senior family caregivers can use technology.
Can use it or teach it? What
Use
is,
it.
and what is the end game? Are we trying to teach the seniors from 50 to 70 how to use technology?
No, it's really, I think I've made it more specific rather than a general. I was targeting family caregivers using technology to help the people that they care for.
Oh, got it. So you're not trying to teach the seniors how to use their phone. You're trying to teach the caregivers
How to use various technology to enrich their lives and the people they care for.
Okay, now you just said a better one right there. Enrich their lives and the people they care for.
Mhm.
Put that down. Enrich, well, maybe just enrich
Enrich their lives and the people they care for.
or forget their lives. How about enrich the lives of the people they care for? Enrich the lives of people they care for. Okay, again, not making it about them. So something like how to use tech. Now, this is still a big one, but how to use technology to enrich the lives they care for. Oh, but we didn't say caregivers. I like that word enrich, though, if we could incorporate that.
Now we could just make it a general, how to enrich your life, using technology.
Now, you could do something like, hang on one second, Cheryl, and then, yeah, I want to hear your opinion. But we want to say something about seniors or caregivers. So sometimes we can kind of cheat a little bit and say caregivers, colon, how to enrich your lives, how to enrich the lives of, how to enrich your lives through technology. So that way they know it's for the caregivers, because otherwise you're going to get every Tom, Dick, and Harry coming. Right?
Mhm.
I mean,
True.
we all want to know how to enrich our lives through technology. We all do, right? Because even though, you know, my degree is in technology, hello, right? But I can't keep up with everything. And I don't want to keep up with everything. It's too much. Every time I think I got something down, they change it, or they add something new, or they get rid of it.
Right.
So, all right. So go ahead, Cheryl. Feedback?
Yes, I just remember when Jeanette first explained it, she used the words senior tech tutor. And so I could get a glimmer of what it was about, and that really stuck.
I agree. Is there a way you could well, that's really I don't know how tech tutor, I really like that. But now it's for the caregivers, not for the seniors. So caregivers.
Could we say how to enrich the seniors' lives through technology? And
yes.
That way you're not pigeonholing yourself into one group.
That's true. And then you could be targeting the caregivers, or you could go and do it yourself.
Right, right.
Okay, say that one more time, Michelle.
How to enrich seniors' lives through technology.
That's it. That's it.
And I like that.
Mhm. That's it. How many of you like that one? We'll just vote on that one.
Yeah.
All kind of people.
Michelle?
You have a winner.
Yeah, the caregiver one sounds like they're taking care of a vegetable, you know, and then maybe that
Oh.
senior is up and, you know, about and savvy.
Well, and it's a niche, and you know, I do more than just the niche. So
Good. All right. Good. Okay, so let's go back to, everybody's gone, so we're gonna go back for redo. So we'll go back to Karen and then Cheryl.
Okay, here's the 3 that I came up with. Top 5 tips for nurses to reduce stress and increase their energy or vitality. Oh, I wanted to ask which word's better, energy or vitality? Or should I use both?
Probably vitality,
Vitality, okay.
because you don't hear it a lot, but I wonder, do you need removed stress? What if it was just the benefit?
Oh,
Yeah, and just say vitality, how to increase
so top
vitality.
5 tips for nurses to increase their vitality. That's the first one. And what every nurse needs to increase their vitality. Third, how nurses can increase their vitality.
Okay, so it might be, instead of tips, what if it was ways,
Wait,
which might be more, it might be stronger. 5 ways to increase your
your vitality. Top 5 ways for nurses to increase their vitality.
Yes. Okay,
Okay.
what is the other ones?
What every nurse needs to increase their vitality.
To know, what every nurse needs to know to
know.
increase their vitality.
To increase their vitality, and how nurses can increase their vitality.
That's so similar to the other 2.
Oh,
Okay. All right, so is that really the message though that you want? Is that really the benefit and the message?
well, like it's a start for them to just to invite, because I know like the number 1 challenge that they're experiencing right now is stress, overwhelm, and burnout, on the verge of burning out. So
Yeah. So I like that word burnout. So
okay,
what if we used a combination and you said something like, you know, the top, and maybe we don't need top, again, just like we didn't need it, I think for Michelle or Beth. What if it was just 5 ways to avoid burnout and experience, or what was the leading?
increase vitality.
And increase, right.
Vitality.
5, or vice versa. 5 ways to increase vitality and avoid burnout.
And avoid burnout.
And avoid, yeah.
Yeah.
That's what I had. Yeah, I like that one.
Oh, Michelle, you are a
Is
word.
that the same as yours? No. Did you have burnout? No. Michelle, was that?
No, I'm saying I liked Karen. I liked that one for Karen.
Okay, good. I was.
Yeah, that's what I was meaning by that.
Borrowing yours. Okay.
Yeah,
All
sorry.
right. So say that.
I have a suggestion.
Yes.
Five,
go ahead.
5 paths to self-compassion for nurses.
Was that Alice?
5 paths to self-compassion for nurses.
Mm.
Just something out there.
Oh, I don't like burnout because it's very common in the healthcare field. It's what everybody says. So self-compassion is truly a lovely way of saying you don't have burnout and how to get there.
I know, but they don't know that language. Like all they know right now is burnout.
Yeah.
So I need to.
Or
meet
maybe
them
say and
where-
avoid burnout. But I love the self-compassion.
Especially since they always giving compassion to others, not themselves.
Right. Okay, so those are great suggestions, but again, we don't want to change or alter what Karen is trying to say. So when I coach, think about it. I just say the words that they're saying to me, like the word enrich. I heard her say it to me, right?
And for me, like, because it's gonna be part of the journey. I'm gonna take them to do self-care, self-compassion, but because they're in like their need right now, all they know is like, I'm just stressed and burnt out. That's all they know. So I need to get them in and then teach them self-care, self-compassion.
Right.
That's part of the journey.
That's what they want to avoid. They're going to pay big money. Ageless has been used and overused, but that's what I'm buying. Hello, you know,
Yeah.
that's what I'm buying. I'm not buying youth because that's, you know, that is like, that's been gone years ago, right? That wouldn't, but I'm
Yeah,
buying
and
ageless or staying
Yeah.
young forever, whatever. So that's the language. Yeah, I am used to hearing, even though it has been over.
And one thing that I discovered too, because it's been almost a year that I've been doing my market research and just sending friends that are nurses surveys, I've noticed that pleasure doesn't really motivate them to move, but avoid pain. They 80% still want to avoid pain, and only 20% they don't want to enhance their life, but they want to like, oh, I don't like that. So, but that's where I'm taking them. They just don't know that it's the secret
Right.
journey,
They
but I just need to get
wanna-
them in.
Yeah, they just want to avoid that burnout, working, you know, those 12-hour shifts back to back and, you know, yeah, and they really truly are burned out. Okay, so let's go with that. Say it again and we'll vote.
Okay, so first one, 5 ways for nurses to increase their vitality and avoid burnout. Second, what every nurse need to increase their vitality and avoid burnout, and how nurses can increase their vitality and avoid burnout.
Yeah. Third one for me. Are we voting? Okay, so take us through the vote then.
Okay, like first one, 5 ways for nurses increase their vitality and avoid burnout. Who votes for that? Second, what every nurse needs to increase their vitality and avoid burnout. Third one, how nurses can increase their vitality and avoid burnout.
Right. Good. So we'll go with that. Now, these titles could change over time. You know, this is something you could tweak. So, but this is what we're going to use right now for this weekend. So don't think that it's set, you know, in stone. You might find something else as you deliver this that works better, right? The signature talk, though, will be the same. You know, but someone might say, well, Karen, I don't like that word burnout, just like Beth said, and said, okay, well, then how about, you know, how to relieve stress and have vitality? And they go, yeah, that's it. And it's the same talk. Okay. So that fits for this particular, you know, group. All right, Cheryl.
Okay, number 1, dream big, you have the power.
Ooh.
Number 2, the power behind breakthrough success. And number 3, God power, the secret to breakthrough success.
Okay. Have to be careful with the third one because it's like you're giving it away already. You're telling them the answer. So I would save that. You could say the hidden power or the secret power or the superpower. But I wouldn't say God yet, because especially as a child of God, you want to be a witness. And you can't be a witness if they're not in your room, if that word scares them for some reason. You got to get them in the room. So read those 3 again.
Okay.
Everybody listen and then we'll vote.
Okay. Number 1, dream big, you have the power. Number 2, the power behind breakthrough success. And number 3, the superpower, behind breakthrough success.
Okay, what if the first one, just for grins, you switched it and said you have the power to dream big instead of how you are saying it?
I love it.
And then what is the third one? Say the third one more time for me.
Should I say the superpower or your superpower to break through success?
Your superpower. But what if it's not breakthrough success and it was like along your first line of being able to dream big? You have this, like, your superpower to dream big, or dream big with your superpower. Your superpower is your ticket to dream big. Or something, I'm just using your words, but just wondering if you can arrange it a little differently. Okay. All right, let's vote on those. So say them all three again and then take us through the vote.
Okay.
I kind of have an idea though. How about the third one? You say unleash your superpower or powers to dream big.
You could do that, unleash, if that's your word, if that's a word. One of your words, you could do that, absolutely.
Okay.
Whenever I hear unleash, I always think of Tony Robbins.
Oh, I don't even know.
Unleash the power within, Okay, so do those three and we'll vote.
So number one,
Mhm,
you have the power to dream big.
mhm.
Number two, the power behind success. And number three,
Not bad, that's a good one too.
unleash your power to dream big.
Okay, so they're all three very good, so let's vote.
Oh, okay. So number one, dream big. You have the power.
Or you have the power to dream big.
Oh, that's right.
Mhm.
You have the power to dream big. And then number two, the power behind success. And number three, unleash your power to dream big. So number one.
Yeah, you got, number one. Okay, good. All right, so everybody's good? Yeah,
Can I have a do-over since I had to go first?
of course you can.
Thank you, because okay, so this is my story. So here are my three. The three most common health mistakes women are making now that cause aging and how to fix them.
Okay, it's pretty long. Be careful, it's pretty long.
The only health guide you'll ever need to live well as you live long.
Remember, your target is women.
Yeah,
They're not like some intellectual scientist or engineer somewhere.
so you don't like that one.
I don't care for those number two very much.
Um,
It's too
Three
intellectual.
deadly health mistakes women make that cause aging and how to fix them.
Okay, let's think about this for a minute. Okay, and again, that's why I suggested before, get away from the plug and play, because maybe for you, the plug and plays don't work as well. So what could you say if you didn't have a plug and play? Forget the plug and play. What would you say otherwise? What do we want? Okay, Luana, what do you want?
Oh, I want,
No, wait, I asked Luana.
Luana.
Luana, what do you want when it comes to aging, to life, to all of that?
Health.
What do you want? health. What do you want?
You're on mute.
Muted. And I know something good from your body language is coming out.
Health is extremely important to me because nothing else matters if I don't have health, okay? But I also want to look the best that I possibly can, and that means I don't want to age.
That's right. How to look and feel the best you can at any age,
Mhm.
right? Something along those lines. Thank you. Because I feel the same way, you know?
Can I say something like ageless? How to get,
Yes.
how to get there?
Ageless, how to get there?
Yeah.
You could, but I rather go and listen to what Luana mentioned.
So say it again, Luana.
Health is important, but I want to look the best that I can.
So
I'm not looking to be 20 or 30, not even looking to be 40. I just want to look the best that I can at whatever age I am.
right. That's why I said what did I say, ladies? I said how to look your best at any age, or how to have vibrant health and look your best at any age. How to feel and look your best. There we go.
Look and feel is what you said.
And
Oh,
look your
I
best.
like that.
How to feel and look your best at any age,
There you
whether
go.
you're 40, whether you're 30, whether you're, how to look and feel your best. And that way you're not saying health
Yes.
because remember this title is your promo. And if we say health, people go, oh, I'm healthy enough. And they're probably not, but they're going to just say it because we're all in denial, most of us in denial about our health. We could all do better, right? Agreed?
Yes.
We could all do better.
So do you want me to say something like 3 tips or just
No, I don't.
how to look and feel your best at any age?
Yes, if that resonates, I know I gave you that title. I don't mean to.
You know, but
You're
that's what I would
struggling.
think. That's my thing too, is how to look your best and feel your best.
Good.
So you can live your best.
Yes.
And add that so you can live your best. That's even better.
Okay.
And
That's
you
your
do.
title, girl.
You got it. And how to feel your best, whatever you said.
We always want to look better. Look
better.
first.
How to feel better, look better, and live better at any age. There you go. That's a beauty.
Okay.
I just want to mention something to Beth.
Yeah.
I think you use LifeWave, right? LifeWave?
Yeah.
Okay, so I know about it. My son's 30 and he's like, you won't imagine how many 20-something or 30-something year olds want to look and feel their best. They don't feel, they're seeing themselves as teenagers and saying, oh, I'm getting old. So it's not
Really?
only, you can bring in the 20s, the 30s, the 40s, whatever age.
Yes.
So you reach a bigger audience
Yep.
Okay.
because he uses it too.
Yeah. And
That
like
warms
one,
my heart.
I know. And one thing I discovered, Beth, because I went to see someone last weekend and she's only 35, but like she's already getting Botox, doing all this stuff because they want to feel good. So I'm like, oh, I think that title really targets because it's very subjective. Like, okay, like it doesn't, it's how we feel and only us can gauge that. So I like it.
You guys are the best. This is just what I needed. Thank you. Thank you. I'm feeling so much more confident. Thanks.
Good. You're welcome. All right. So now put your titles in the chat box so we have a record of them. So everybody just take a moment to do that. And then we're going to take a quick 10-minute break because it's perfect timing. I know it seems like, oh, wow, we spent a long time on it. Hey, this is your GPS address. Without this, we have no direction. So that's why it's important. We won't spend this much time on every step, but this step is important. So good job, everyone, with getting it together. Okay. All right, so go ahead and put it in the chat. I'm gonna get my little document camera all ready to go. So after break, we're gonna use this little toy. I love him. Toy here. Okay, we got them all in there. All right, so let's see. Okay, so Ardina, how to preserve your legacy through art. Michelle, 3 keys to aging well and living your best life. Nice. Karen, how nurses can increase their vitality and avoid burnout. Love it. Alice, 24 hours to financial peace. Luana, how journaling can set you free. Or she's put a second one, healing through journaling. Again, you could use both of those. You pick one for today. They're both great. How to enrich seniors' lives through technology. Love that one. You have the power to think big. Love that. Cheryl,
That was a typo.
but I like that. You have the power instead of dream big, think big. I like that because that's more business kind of oriented. It took out a little, one of the woos from the woo-woo. So good. Right? Just a different target, right? Okay, you have the power to dream big, but that's the second one. So if you're talking to women, I would use dream big. If you're talking to men and women or men, I would say think big. Now, here's the beauty of that. See, sometimes we can get titles that are interchangeable easily. So, Cheryl, if you were talking to business leaders, you would say you have the power to lead big, right? Speakers, you have the title to speak big. You have the title, you have the power to perform big. See, so sometimes we get titles that we can just boom, boom, boom and interchange. All right? Okay. Very good. And how to look your best, feel your best, and have your best life at any age. Now, I might not say it that way. I might streamline it to say how to look your best, feel your best. Wait, look your best, feel your best, and have the best. How did I say it before? How to look your best, be your best, feel your best.
I think you said how to look and feel your best.
Yeah.
How to look and feel your best at any age.
Yeah, thank you. How to look and feel your best and live your best life at any age. So I just took out a couple of those words just to streamline it a little bit. Think about that.
You're on mute.
Say it one more time, because I'm.
Okay,
Yeah.
Alice, say it for me.
How to look and feel your best at any age.
Look and feel your best.
At any age, but you can add
You
to
can add
that and
your
live your
best life.
best.
Mm.
So how to look and feel your best and have your best life at any age. You could stretch it to that.
How to look and feel your best at.
And
And
have
live your
and
best
have your
life
best life and live your best life at any age.
at any age. Yeah. Good, awesome. These are great titles, ladies. Excellent, excellent, good job. So everybody raise your right hand right now and pat yourself on the back and say, good job.
Good job.
Good job. Awesome. Good job, Cheryl. Okay, so let's take a quick break until, how much time do you need? 5 minutes or 10 minutes? 5 minutes? 10 minutes? 10 minutes? Okay, Then at 11:17, we'll come back. So go get something to eat, get something to drink. Cheryl, your hand is up. Did you need something before we take a break?
I didn't. I was just trying to give a heart reaction. I'm sorry.
Okay, perfect. All right, so 17 after the hour, and we're gonna come back. Okay, I'm gonna set the time. Ten minutes, you got
Feel your best.
it. Okay.
I think I have cash on me. good. No pressure. My class is starting, otherwise I'm gonna go over there.
All righty, our timer is going. Okay. I'm trying to get my little document thing to work and I'm having a little trouble, so. Okay, excellent. All right, I hope everybody got something to eat. Okay, so we are going to launch into our speech right now. So what we're going to do over the next couple of days is all of us are starting with a clean slate, right? Because none of you know the system. right? Whether you've spoken before, you're all learning the $1 Million Speaker System that I've developed over the last, well, 30 years, because I developed it when I started developing it when I was in corporate America, when I didn't even know I was using a system. And so you're going to start, everybody's starting with a clean slate. And what we're going to do today is we are going to outline, right, our speech. We're going to outline our speech. And then by the end of the day, tomorrow, maybe I'll go this way. All of you are going to have a fully developed, beautiful speech. Okay. So that's what we're doing now. As we go along, now we're at the point, I mean, the titles really involve all of us because we decide if we want to go and see that particular topic. But as we go through now, it is best to just kind of hold your comments and your ideas to yourself and let the process happen and let people get into their own process. Does that make sense? So there's only one coach in the room right now, and guess who that is? Me. All right. So otherwise it could get confusing if too many people are like, trying to give too many ideas. So just trust the process and everybody will come out with exactly what they need. So we are on page 8. We are on page 8. So hold on just a moment. Let me get my tea. Go to page 8. Okay. Perfect. All right. Now the first thing, I'm going to try to see if this thing is going to work for me. I'm not sure if it is. If it doesn't, it's okay. I can put everything I need to in the chat. Let me reduce my view for a moment. There we go. Oh, yay, it's going to work. Yay. Okay, so I'm going to do this. And now I'm going to share my screen. Screen. All right. So everybody now should be able to see this. This is my book, right? Like you're all working on. So I better get my gloves on though. All right, because no one wants to see old hands with veins and all that, right? You don't want to see mine and we don't want to see yours either. So we put on what I call Zoom gloves. I really should put a patent on these things. Zoom gloves. So that when you're using a document camera like this, people aren't distracted. Unless you have 20-year-old hands, they're not always pretty under the microscope, right? Karen, I guess you haven't seen these yet. Okay, they're my Zoom gloves. And I've got other ones too. All right, so we are going to, let me get my paper. And so this is exactly what I would do if you were in my class. I would just do it on a whiteboard. So I use this instead of the whiteboard. So what we're going to do is we are going to do our purpose statement. Our purpose statement is our purpose for speaking. So there are 6 reasons why someone would speak. So who can tell me what they are? So just unmute yourself, and I'm going to write them down as if I'm writing them on a big whiteboard. So why would people speak? What is the purpose?
Influence.
Influence, okay. Good. Influence is not the word I'm looking for, but it's pretty close. Influence.
Brand yourself.
Okay.
Like for me, since I'm just starting to build my email list, or is that a purpose for me?
Right. Okay. Email, not really. There are reasons. Yeah, there are benefits.
Share your message. Share your message.
Those are benefits. All right, so what I'm looking for,
I'm gonna tell you this real fast, Arby. I can cheat and look at what you say on your sheet. They're all listed here.
that's right. They're all listed on page 8, right? So the purposes for speaking, these are benefits for speaking, and their answer is absolutely right. But the purpose is that people speak is to inform, right? Most business speakers inform. They just give you a bunch of information, right? What's another one? All right, we might entertain,
Persuade.
right? Entertain, persuade,
Motivate,
right? Motivate,
inspire,
inspire,
educate.
educate.
Hello?
And what-
Uh-huh.
And what is the last one? Oh, that's the 6.
I'm not gonna be able to stay. I'm just gonna come to the door and drop that off for you.
That'll be fine. I'm in class and I haven't been letting
Okay,
people
then.
in anyway because I was sick
Okay.
earlier this
The
year.
cologne.
Yeah.
I know.
Hmm.
Yeah. So
Okay, so I'm going to mute you. Okay, so inform, entertain, persuade, motivate, inspire, and educate. Now, these are the reasons why people are speaking. Most of the time, there's a main reason and a secondary reason. So most business owners, they just inform and oftentimes educate, but mostly inform. It's just blah, blah, blah. Here's my business, blah, 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 blah. We don't get anything to take home. We don't get any how-tos. We don't get any benefits, right? Entertainers entertain. They just entertain us. We feel good while they're there, and that's it, right? Motivational speakers, rah, 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 yay, right? We feel good while we're there, but again, we go out and we might remember a quote or two, and that's it. Teachers educate. So as a speaker, business speaker, we want to combine a couple of these. And which one do you think is the one that's going to make you money, ladies? What, Cheryl? You're muted.
I think persuade.
Right. So persuade is the one that we want to lead with. And you can persuade by informing, entertaining, if you're kind of funny, motivating, inspiring someone to take action, or even educate. Now, I tend to persuade and educate is just my style. Each of you are going to have or already have a speaker style. Some of you have it already. Some of you, it's going to be developed. You're just going to, you're going to go into it. You don't have to worry. You don't have to say, well, I want to inspire. No, it'll happen. You'll just be that inspirational kind of person automatically. All right. So, but our main purpose is to persuade. So when we take a look at our statement, right? And again, we're on page 9 now, right? No, we're on the end of page, we're on the end of the page 8, okay? So we're going to do this little formula, and the formula is on the next page, page 9. So if we looked at our formula, we take our purpose, which is to persuade. We all know what that is, right? Plus our audience. Now, we all kind of know who our audience is. So if we don't know, let's just finalize who our audience is that this speech is for. All right, so we're going to go around the room real quick and just kind of make sure everybody knows who their audience is and their target market is. So this isn't a marketing class, so I'm hoping that you know what your target market is already. It sounds like you do. All right, so Alice, what is your target market?
People who are in financial difficulty, and also community leaders like politicians to make change.
Okay, and those probably would be 2 separate audiences and two separate speeches.
Right.
It could be the same kind of speech, but tweaked for the politicians.
Mhm.
Okay. All right. Very good. Karen, what is your target market?
Nurses.
Nurses who really want more. They're tired of
Yes.
being a nurse, right?
Yes.
Jeanette,
Seniors or those who love seniors.
there you go. I love that. Seniors are those who love seniors. Michelle,
Women in their 40s, 50s, 60s that are starting to show signs of aging and want to try and age as well as they can.
right? Or hold it at bay, right?
Yes, hold it at bay.
There.
Got it.
Beth,
Women over 40.
beautiful. Ardina,
Family-oriented women from 45 to 70-ish who want to preserve their memories.
beautiful. Cheryl,
Small business owners, solopreneurs, and entrepreneurs.
beautiful. Lawana,
I'm going to say women, whether they're entrepreneurs or just stay-at-home mamas who are stressed, feeling any kind of anxiety. See, getting tongue-tied here. That's as close as I can get because I'm real not good at marketing.
okay, so when you say things like that, you make it so. Did all
I
of you-
know, I didn't mean to say it.
I know you
I
did.
know better.
So we're all going to go around the room because what happens is Les Brown says, for every negative thing that you say about yourself, it takes 17 positive things to neutralize it.
Wow.
So we're going to go around the room and neutralize it. We don't have 17, but we're going to start the beginning. So I'm going to start. You are a master marketer. Karen,
You are beautiful and gorgeous.
Alice,
You're on mute.
you're muted.
You are a confident inspirer.
Jeanette,
You have a heart of compassion.
Michelle,
You have the ability to change people's lives.
Beth,
You have a wealth of knowledge and experience.
Ardina, you're
You
muted.
are, you are an amazing spirit. And
Cheryl,
Actually, Lawana, what's really going on with you is you are a marketing maven. You got this.
awesome. All right, good job, everyone.
Thank you, ladies.
So if I hear anything negative talk, we're going to go through that exercise together. Because it does happen to all of us at one time or another. It's not uncommon. We just do it. I don't know if men do it, but I know women do it. So we're not going to do it here in this room because you are great.
Can I borrow that from you for my next time I teach a class and somebody does that?
Absolutely. Absolutely.
I love that. Thank
Yeah,
you all.
You're welcome. All right. So now we've got all that, right? We got all our target markets. Perfect. Now we're going to go back to share. Everybody can see that. So now we have our audience. So you're going to create kind of a sentence. You can just put purpose, persuade, your
Harvey, we
audience.
can't see your stuff.
Oh, did I not share? I'm sorry. I'm seeing it perfectly. Okay, so purpose, audience, right? And then the next one is the value. Now the value is our title. So that's what, the 4 keys, the whatever, that's the value. And then the last one of this is the action. Now the action is the only thing we have not talked about yet. So we're going to talk about the action. Now we are on page 9. There are 5 actions or 5 closes to choose from. We can do these virtually and we can use them online. So when it comes to tomorrow afternoon, I will tell you how to do them both. But all you have to do today is to pick 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, or 6. Now, nobody's going to raise funds today or this weekend. So I recommend, because we're in the beginning stages, that either we build our database by collecting business cards, or in this case, collecting email addresses through the chat, offering a free strategy session by putting your calendar link, if you have one, in the chat, or just saying something very simple. A lot of times in a 5-minute speech, all we have time for is, if I've inspired you in any way, let me know in the chat and put your email address in there. Or we could say, if you have any questions, give me your email address, or here's my email address. You could do it either way. Here's my email address, email me. The challenge in virtual is that fewer people take action than in a live environment. So it really has to be enticing. In other words, if you have any questions, I want you to email me. And when you email me your question, I will personally call you. We will spend 30 minutes on the phone, value $200, and I will answer any question you like. So on a live stage, I wouldn't say that. I wouldn't say I'm going to spend some time with you. I'd just say, come and talk to me at the end of my talk, right? So you up the value in the virtual world. Combo, you can do a combo of 3, 2, or 1. You can't do all 3, but I could say, I could give something away, and I'll show you how to do that tomorrow. Give something away, and or say, if I've inspired you, please email me. I would love to know how I've inspired you. If you have any questions, please email me. You don't even have to say email. You can say, reach out to me in Facebook, reach out to me in Messenger, reach out to me in LinkedIn. You could do anything you want to get them, but do put live links in the chat. It increases the likelihood of someone contacting you. Otherwise, your event's over, out of sight, out of mind. People need to react when they're in your presence and in your energy. That's no different than if you're live or in a virtual environment. Just know that. Number 5, you can even sell a product or service, or give away some free webinar. I would save selling a product and services until you've really got these other closes down. So don't even worry about having to do that. People that do that from the stage have done it for years. All right, so pick which action you want. So on your page, you can either do it on this page or on the outline. You're going to put your purpose, which is to persuade, the audience, which we just talked about, the title of your talk, and what action you're going to take. 1, 2, 3, or 4, or 5. That's all. That's all you're going to do right now. Easy peasy. Okay, so you got 2 minutes to do that. Again, you can write it on page 9, which I recommend you write it on page 9 and then transfer it to your outline.
Arby, could you repeat that one more time?
Which one?
Going through each one from purpose to audience.
Okay. Your purpose is to persuade. So we know what that purpose is. Persuade. So I'm going to persuade busy business owners, right? That's my target market, busy business owners, on how to speak up, get clients. That's the title of my talk. And then I'm going to offer a free strategy session. See, it doesn't have to be a sentence. I've made a sentence here, but you don't have to make a sentence. Offer strategy. You just have to make decisions. That's all, of where it is you're going. This is your thesis statement. The title is the promise. That's our GPS. That's our address. This is our map. Got it? This is our map now. So we took it one step further. Nobody teaches this stuff. That's why people just ramble around and move around and they don't really have any purpose. They just talk. You're going to have a purpose. Now, this could change if any one of these changed. If your title changed, it's going to change. If your business, if your audience has changed from business owners to somebody else, your offer could change. The only thing that doesn't change is the purpose. It's always to persuade.
Ari, what can be another word for strategy? Because it doesn't seem like it's gonna work for me. It's more like complementary session.
Well, you could use other words like discovery session
Okay.
or exploring session or money-making session or, right? So for me, I like strategy. Whatever you use, do not use coaching because people will show up differently. I used to use coaching and people would show up ready for some coaching. They would be, okay, I want to do my elevator speech. Okay, I want to do my story. And that's not the purpose. The purpose is for you to see if you can help them or not.
Yes. Yeah.
Right? It's a marketing call for you, but it's really, let me know about you. What do you want to do? And let me see if I can help you to do it. Let me see if, what is your problem and how can I solve it? That's what this session is about, not coaching. So never use that word coaching.
Okay. I even heard a coach like chemistry session. That's what he said. Like, let's see if we're a fit.
A what?
Chemistry, if there's chemistry, like if it's a fit session.
You could do that, but then already to me, that makes it like you're holding somebody at bay. Well, let me see if it's a fit. No, let's discover what's going on with you. How can I help you? What's your problem? People are coming to you because they have a problem and you have the solution. That's it, period. There's nothing, no other reason. They're in the burnout. They want to get out of burnout. How can you help me to do that? That's how they're coming in to talk to you.
Okay.
You promised me that you'd get me out of burnout, and I am so burned out. I am ready to scream. How can you help me? They're already half sold, or they wouldn't be spending 30 minutes with you. Okay, so go ahead and write that down. And then in the chat box, I want you all, because we all know everything else, I want you to write down the action that you're going to take out of the 5 actions on page 9. You just tell me. And again, if you change your mind in a couple of days, you change your mind. It's all good. But we got to make a direction decision right now. So I'm going to stop that share. How do you like my little gizmo? Pretty cool, huh? I love it. Oh, look at Alice got one. Awesome. She's got a big one.
So Arby, what we're doing is we're selecting between these 6 here.
Yes. But probably 5 because there's nobody in a not-for-profit.
Oh, I see.
And
I
you-
was wondering how would that apply to journaling?
Well, you want to build your database, my dear, because you're going to have journaling classes in the future. So
Mhm.
you should do number 1.
Okay.
Yeah, which is a building your list strategy.
Okay.
Yeah. Yeah. So for you, number 1. Most of you, if you don't have a list, you need to do number 1 for about a couple hundred speeches. because you're all going to do workshops. You're all going to do webinars. And let me tell you a little secret. Social media will only get one, maybe two people into any event. I've been using it for years. It doesn't. I know all of you because you've gotten to my database and you've gotten an email from me to come to an event, or I spoke, right? Those two strategies. Speaking, get you in there, which now we are doing the speech. And after the speech, people that don't buy or don't sign up, how are you going to get them to do that? Offer something free. And again, we're going to go in detail, but just to give you a little hint, the higher the price of the free, the more apt you are to get people to opt in. In the live stage days, you could offer a free book and people would give you a business card. But now, to do it in this environment, because there's really no accountability. See, a live stage, I can tell if you, Karen, you didn't give me a business card. I can tell. I can see it because I went around the room or whatever. In this environment, you don't know, especially the more people. So it's kind of anonymous. So a lot of people won't do it. So up the ante and they'll do it. Like up, like $200 up. And a gift, not free coaching, not any of that. Nobody wants that because they don't know you yet. But you give them a gift, a real gift, and mail it to them, that's a couple $100, they'll become your best friend. All right, everybody's
Say a
got that,
couple $100?
right?
Did you say a couple $100?
Yeah. The higher it is, the more names in the chat you're going to get on the virtual world. When you go live world, you can get a book, a $5 Starbucks card.
What's an example of a couple hundred?
Okay, so one of my clients is an esthetician and she put together after, with my coaching, she put together a do it yourself at home micro needling kit and it was $247. She got everybody in the room to sign up, even the men.
Oh,
So-
so
Why?
what you do is you have them all put a business card in because they're going to win the raffle.
Right, it's the same thing, but it's virtually. A
Okay.
virtual raffle, you have to
Show
go.
them like the gift bag or something and describe what's in it.
You could do that, but it's got to be of a high value.
So for example, I do Mary Kay on the side. I could put it together a gift bag of Mary Kay products.
Amen, sister. Yeah, I would be putting my name in there, especially if it's $100 or more. Not just something that was $20. I wouldn't.
Yeah, no, I was just thinking about that. So are you giving it to everybody who puts their
No,
name in there?
no. This is
You're having a raffle.
One person.
Okay,
And if you're dealing with people that are in your room, they're out of country, then you have to say, I'm sorry, this is not for people out of country. Because you can't afford even to send something like that to Canada. It would cost you another couple $100. So always make sure you know who's in your audience.
And do you pull the raffle right there so everybody can?
Oh, yes, I'll show you this tomorrow, but because you asked, what you do is you tell them to email you, you put the email in the chat, and then you go like this, right? If your email's coming to your phone. If not, you have to do it, but you don't get proof. You have to go to your email address and it can be disruptive. So if it's coming to your phone, now I don't have mine coming to my phone on purpose because I don't need to delete it 2 places. I get so many, but you could turn it on just for a speaking engagement and then go like this and go boom. So they know that you picked it honestly. The trick though is they don't come in immediately. So you have to wait a few minutes and then you have to talk about other stuff and then go, okay, now we're going to do the raffle. So I say the raffle, then I'll give another tip or another education piece. Then I'll come to pick the winner. Because you need that like 2 minutes, 3 minutes for everyone to get their emails in there.
And all you're
Otherwise,
doing is
sitting there
building
waiting
your
and
list.
going, nobody's sending me their email.
And that's just something to work on building your list, your leads.
Yes, if you're going to do events, which you all are going to do events, workshops of some kind, right?
Mhm.
For group coaching, you need to build a database. Right? So 250 people is not a database. You need thousands. So it's a great way to do it. And people tend to stay on your list because they know you, experienced you, right? And then you give, you'll give quality touches, once every couple weeks or whatever. Beth could do tips on, some, how to, be ageless. Not promos about what she sells, but maybe, make sure you're drinking plenty of water, and then so you do, it's like a hit hook, right? So, drink more water, eat more vegetables. Oh, I got this patch, right? So it's kind of like a 1-2 boom. Okay, 1-2 punch. So it's not just punch, punch, punch. Otherwise people get off your list. Okay, give value. Great. Good job. Now we're going to go around the room real quick, and I want to hear, and then I want you to put it in the chat. Okay, so we've already started putting in the chat. Perfect. Okay, so Alice, what close are you going to do?
Free strategy session.
Perfect. And that makes sense for Alice because she's more interested in just getting that client who's in trouble, because not everybody's your target. Not everybody's in financial turmoil, right? She just wants the ones that need her help. Okay. All right. People in foreclosure or whatever. Most of us won't be her target. Good. Pulling out, that's being a magnet and pulling out your specific hot leads. I love it. Karen, what are you going to do?
Build my list.
What?
Build my list, like the action.
Perfect. That's perfect for you. Jeanette. I love your glasses, by the way. Does everybody love her glasses?
Oh, thank you. Well, I'd like to do a combination, but do you think that it's best just to have one?
It depends on the combo. What combo do you want?
The first three.
Oh, well, 3's kind of hard to do, but you could if you had time. But see, how we do the raffle and strategy is in one step. So most of the time, the best way to do a strategy session is to give them your calendar link inside the chat and let anybody who wants to do that. When you're on stage, however, you can say, everybody take out a business card and you get to win this, Mary Kay basket or whatever worth $200, but you're all winners. So just put an S in the corner and I will schedule a strategy session. So it's really smooth. It's done with one step. When you're inside the chat, though, in the virtual world, it's a little more challenging and difficult because you have to give them the link and then give them your email and say, okay, for those of you that want to sign up here, go there. For those of you that want to win this raffle, go here. Not impossible to do. It's just you have to really practice and orchestrate it.
Okay.
Okay, and then you already have the email, so then you could say, if I've inspired you in any way, just email me. The email's in the chat. So at least you don't have to do a third step.
Okay. Keep it simple then. All right.
Best to keep it simple. Yeah. So again, if you're only speaking to caregivers or senior places that have seniors, then I would build the list because you're going to do a workshop and a technical workshop or whatever for one of them, either the caregiver or other. It's more important because strategy, there might not be quite ready to go, I want to hire you, right? They're still feeling it out.
Okay.
All right, good job. All right, Michelle.
I need to build my list.
Got it. Good job. All right, Beth.
I need to build my list, but I want to do it with essentially a strategy session. So to have them talk to me.
Okay, perfect. Just know you won't get as many as you would otherwise, right?
Well, I
Because-
said, I did two things. I wrote it in the chat. I said I put their contact information in the chat. I'll send my Calendly link, or here's my email, reach out. I always love to hear your questions.
Okay, so that's a combo, but you're asking them to put their information in the chat.
Well, I was gonna do their information. Here's my information.
That's
Let
a
me
lot.
send you a link. Is that too much?
Yeah, just give your information. Now, you have to be careful because some speaking engagements, some speaking engagements, we don't have permission to do any of these, right?
Right, right.
So you have to always ask, because a lot of people don't let you collect the information at all, you know? They don't let you sell, you know, because they built their database with agony for years and expense, and they don't want to just give it away to anybody, much less the speaker. So
Uh-huh.
it's like business organizations like chambers and everything that, you know, they don't care. I'm talking about other speakers that are putting on events. They care. They care. So you have to ask for that, but just keep it simple. Don't make it so convoluted that people are like, what are we supposed to do? You know?
Okay, so put my contact information in the chat and say, and just ask them to reach out
Right.
if
And
they're
also,
intrigued. Yeah.
yeah, and some people don't want to put it in the chat because they don't want Tom, Dick, and Harry just emailing them or putting them on a list. So you've got that too. Same with cards, but I don't know why people will give you a business card because we're used to that. You know, we know you're going to put us on the list, but we want to win that prize. So we're more apt to do it. But somehow putting an email in a chat feels like, oh, I'm giving you my number.
So,
in the data.
I do give away a product sample when we've had a conversation. So I didn't know if I could put that in as a tease, saying when we connect,
You could.
I have a sample, I have a gift for you.
Yes, a gift is better, and tell the value. A gift worth $50 or whatever it is. A gift worth, I mean, again, the higher the price, the more app you're gonna get. But so if it's,
Yeah, but I'm not gonna give somebody $50 to talk with them on the phone. I'm
okay,
not.
no,
yeah.
I'm just saying.
Yeah.
I don't blame you, but it can be worth $50. So let's say the stuff I've given you, like just my sample of my checklist, right? My checklist
Oh,
of everything you need to go through for speaking. I mean, that is gold. I'm telling you, nobody does that. And that's worth I put it at $197. So
okay.
if you come and talk to me, I'll give you my speaker checklist so that you won't miss anything next time you have a speaking engagement. It's valued at
So I
$197.
could have one of
That's
my,
what I'm talking about. Not,
yeah, I could give you my 20 health tips or whatever.
well, you know that, yeah, you know that assessment, but you never want to say assessment or therapy or anything like that. But you know that health assessment that you talk about?
Mhm.
You could put that on a PDF document. Yeah, not send them the card that costs money, but just type it up yourself and send that to them, plus one of your patches,
Plus what?
one of her lightweight patches.
Yeah,
That way you give away as a free gift.
I only if they have shown interest. I mean, because it's
It's expensive. Then
Yeah.
just give them the help, give them something. that'll keep
something.
their mind. So like a health assessment, which you
Yeah.
have, or do it for them like you do, and then send it to them. That's their gift.
So Arby, what's an alternate word for assessment? Because I do have lots of assessments as a coach, like I could send them assessments, but
Yeah.
with
Health quiz is what they call it.
checklist. Okay.
A health quiz, but that would be good. Or a burnout quiz, or, something, a vibrant quiz. Yeah. No one wants to be assessed, analyzed, or have therapy. They don't want to pay for that, even though they might need it, right?
Checklist is good if I send them a checklist of stuff that they could do for themselves.
Yes, absolutely. Value that. Always give the value or they won't value it. Right, you got some great ideas there. All right, good, Beth. I love that. Okay, now wait, Beth, you're not promising them a patch, you're just promising a gift, and the gift can be the health quiz.
Varying degrees of gifting, depending on your
That's right.
response. Okay,
That's right. But don't call it a health assessment. Yeah,
it's a quiz.
it's a quiz. I love it. All right, Ardina, you're next.
You know, Arby, I generally start with if I have inspired you in any way, you know, to drop their email, and or if they have questions, you know, they can contact me. But I was also wondering if maybe I did like a free 15-minute or 30-minute session, offer that, because generally people always have questions, always. So that may be a way to build the relationship.
Absolutely, it depends. Do you want the right client or do you want to build your list? It's up to you because you'll get, let's say it's a group of 25.
Okay.
You will get 3 to 5 people per strategy. If it's a group of 25, you could get half of the group as far as building your list. In the old days on live stage, you would get all 25. I would get 99.9% of the room giving me their business card. Some people don't because they don't have a business card, so they write it on somebody else's business card. Their name doesn't do me any good, right? Because I don't have their email address. So that's the 99.9. But in this environment, unfortunately, you'll never get 100% no matter what you do. So you either take about 50% of email addresses, build your list, or 3 to 5 potential hot leads. So it's up to you what you want. For
Okay.
you, I'd probably go like Alice for the hot leads.
Hot leads. So that would be the question and answers.
Yeah.
Inspiration.
Not the Q&A, but you would do the strategy session or a combo strategy and Q&A. But you don't need Q&A anymore because the Q&A is
Right.
all about if you have any questions, email me and then
Right.
answer them. But this
Okay.
way you do a strategy session, but not strategy. You call it something fun, something arty. I don't know, for you, something arty, whatever that is, an artsy fartsy session. But we'll look at your most prized photo and I'll share with you what you can do with it or how you can preserve it,
Okay.
right? There's something like that, some art, what could you call it? Do you have any ideas? Some art, what? Art, what?
I don't know. Let me think on that one.
Yeah, think about that one. If you could name it something fun like that, then they'd go, ooh, I want that. Some arty farty session, not call it that, but you know, that's what I'm going for. Some, yeah, if anybody else has any ideas on that, let us know. But
Maybe just art fun.
art
Art
fun.
fun session. Oh, it sounds like crafts.
You know, that's, yeah, I'm still kind of confused how, what you do. Is it different than scrapbooking?
Look behind her.
Yeah, I see it. Yeah, but I'm curious. I'm ready to book a session because I don't know what to.
Oh, good. Pick up, get your mom's picture there.
Okay.
Is your mom around?
Yeah, she is.
Hi, Mom.
I mean, she's in her room.
Okay.
So this is art that I did of my mom. I took the picture of her in the backyard, and I do digital and fine art painting.
Ah,
It's beautiful.
Everything's from a photo.
Wow, that's beautiful.
Very beautiful.
it's lovely.
Look at how big it is. And in their back wall, it looks so tiny.
Right.
Oh, this
It
is-
does not show off well on your back wall. That is spectacular.
Thank you.
Mm.
Thank you.
Yeah, I think you need to move your desk back a little bit. Too
Yeah.
far away from your art. Pick another one. Pick one of the other ones that you have next to it. And then she does other stuff, like you see the giraffe and things like that.
So a word just came to me, portrait, like portrait, but change it to portrait and art at the same time.
Session.
It it just like came into my head. So I'm just sharing it for whatever it's.
Then this is another one. This is my dad. Let me back it up a little bit. It's on acrylic, so
That's
that's
beautiful.
the preserving. And everything's ready to hang.
And her dad is gone, right?
Yes,
Mom is there, but the dad is gone, so.
right.
That's lovely, just
Isn't it?
lovely.
Wow.
Nobody else does this.
I
Nobody
definitely
does it.
want your information. I'm a new
So
customer.
do I.
That's.
Oh my God, that's
Thank
It
you.
does not show off on your wall. It does not.
It's stunning, stunning art.
Thank you.
Right, I agree, I agree.
Someone gave a suggestion.
Yeah, Alice, what were you saying to call it?
I don't know if she calls it that, but a combination of portrait and art. So portrait came to me like Portrait or something that combines what these really are portraits
Right,
of
right.
art turned into portraits. So I don't know how,
But if
Right.
we, the audience don't understand that. then-
and that, yeah.
Yeah, so some sort of, like I said, a discovery session for their art, I don't know. You'll think, it'll come to you, it'll come to all of us, we'll sleep tonight on it. And some cool word or language will come up, okay. So everybody, did you put what you're gonna do, your action item? Okay, your action, we're under action in the chat. And everybody's
much.
gone, right? Luana's gone, everybody's gone? Cheryl, did you go? Luana, did you go?
No,
Okay, so go. Yeah, sometimes you guys move around the screen a little bit. I lose track of you. All right,
what do you think about this? I would be going for building the list. And so the best one for that, you said, where you'll get maybe 50% of the people would be to give away something expensive, valued at something nice. And so I could tease them a few times and I'll tell them to go to my email address to request it and enter their email address and phone number. And I'm going to select later, right?
yeah, but it's best if you select it before your speech is over.
Okay.
Whether you're doing it on your email computer or on the phone.
Okay, I'm gonna do that, but watch this, Arvi. What do you think about this combo? So I'm gonna pitch that, have a great valued gift. And then I'm gonna say, and whoever I select, you get this wonderful gift or the option to have a strategy session with me, which is invaluable. Throw in humor.
Well, you know what? I don't know that I would say option, but you can, you're on the right track. I would maybe say it something like this. So here's a valuable gift. Now, again, we want a gift. We don't want like a coaching session per se, but we could say something like this. This gift, which is a $100 gift certificate for a massage of your choice, right? We're all like stressed out as business owners. So, or, you know, it could be anything business related for you, but only one person is going to win this. Put your email in right now. Go ahead right now, put your email, but you're all winners. Only one person will win this, but you're all winners. So I want to gift you all a strategy session valued at $200. Here's the link to my calendar, because if they don't book it right now, it's not going to get booked. Go ahead and book it now. So that, and you all could do that. So you're all, the script is, right? Only one person can win this, but you're all winners. So I want to give you a strategy session. To get it, just go to my link right now and book it. Because they won't do it later. See, when I do that combo on stage, I have a business card and I say, only one person can win this gift. But you're all winners. So put an S in the side of the card and someone from my office will call you. So they do it all in one step. But in the virtual environment, we don't have that luxury. So we got to give them the link so they'll do it right now. Because otherwise we have to ask them for what? Their contact information. Now they're giving it to everybody. Some people don't want to do that, right? Because when they give us a business card, they're not giving a business card to the entire crowd. So that's why they don't want to put it in the chat, because they're giving it to everybody. So it's a different game. So you have to know how to play the game. I've been playing this for the last year. and
That's
I'm putting
true.
it down to the science. Go ahead, Beth. I'm sorry. Go ahead.
I was just thinking, I hadn't thought about that. If they put their contact information in the chat, they give it to everybody. Whereas if I do that, that's fine, but not to ask them. Yeah, I guess it's because I want everybody to know me. But yeah, that's true. Oh, I hadn't thought about that.
Yeah, that's why the resistance. That's why you only get maybe 50%. That's why we have to up the game. So we're getting, but again, if we just do email, then it's not going to everybody. It's only going to our phone or our email address. So more people are apt to do that. Yeah, different game, different rules. Okay, great. So Cheryl, you're good with that, and you're good with doing that combo, that kind of combo. Good. All right, Luana.
Well, I do need to build a list. So that's priority for me. I was thinking that I could, based on what you just said, because I was going to have everybody put their email in the chat, but now I'll have to create something so they can go to. But I have a 7-day journal I thought I could offer to anyone that went to there and gave me their email, and offer a skincare kit as the one item that someone would win.
A what kit?
Skincare kit, Mary Kay skincare
Right.
kit.
Now you certainly can. The only problem with that is that's not what you're selling. That's not the brand you're trying to create as far as
Okay.
a journaling expert, right? So it works okay. Like if you're at a chamber meeting and you bring this basket, but you're trying to sell this over here, because you can always think, well, somebody else in the chamber developed it for you. But in this environment, as much as I would love to win something like that, I have to recommend to think about something like a different basket. How about a journal basket where they get a journal in there, they get a calendar, maybe they get a pen, they get a, whatever, but maybe a
Yeah,
beautiful.
yeah, color
pen.
pens and things. Yeah, I could do that.
Yeah,
That's great.
yeah,
Mhm.
that would be good. All right,
Okay.
so you're going to build your database?
I need to build a
I
database.
think so too, because you know what, what you do is just screaming for a workshop, right? How many? of
And
you-
I actually did one, well, I did a class on journaling,
That's what I mean, a class. So
and 22 people signed up, 12 showed up,
that's
and they
good.
were interested in where I was gonna go, and I wasn't ready for that.
We didn't have anywhere to go. That's okay. We'll talk more about that and create somewhere to go.
Okay.
And I coach people like that all day long. One of the gals that comes to the Passionately Speaking, Angelique, she's in my mastermind. So we worked on her one day. So she did first webinar. She did a webinar first, right? This is a strategy, a webinar first, right? Now, she didn't have a list, but I told her, you got to call your friends. You call your friends and bring in those markers, right? So she got 12 people. I think she had 10 people there. 2 or 3 people signed up for one day. At the one day, she sold two, right? She only had like 6 people, but it's possible. And again, those numbers just go up. But in the beginning, when you don't have a database, you got to get on the phone, call your friends. Right? Don't depend on Facebook. You go to these networking meetings that you belong to, that you know people, and you say, listen, and you just be honest. Listen, I'm doing my very first event or my very first webinar. I need you to come and support me. And when you say it like that, they will. So Luana, congratulations for that many on your first one.
Oh, yeah.
That is huge because
Thank
most people get 1, 2, 3, 4, right? So you did good, girl.
Thank you.
You did real good.
Only because I did what you just said. I need your support.
Good. Awesome. Good. It works. All right. So again, go and put your answer to the action in the chat.
Okay.
And we're going to do one more thing, and then we are going to take our lunch break. All right, so we're on page 9. Now we're going to get into the actual sandwich. Remember what we're creating. We're on page 10, so I want all of you to see this. Now, who's a vegetarian here? No vegetarians. Okay, good. Not that there's anything wrong, that's good. But a lot of times I'll talk about the meat, and for some reason it offends the vegetarian. So the meat, I'm just referring to it to be a veggie sandwich. I love veggie sandwiches myself. Egg sandwiches, it could be anything. But I just refer to it as the meat because that's the solid piece of education. That's your educational pieces, your steps, your ways. This is the solid, the meat. So that's why I just refer to it, the meat as the meat. So the top piece of your sandwich is the pour. Then the bottom piece is the close. If we didn't have the close or the invitation, which is just what we created, the action, our whole sandwich would fall apart. And so many speakers, especially business speakers, don't have time for the close because they're too busy yakking and they didn't practice and they don't know where they are as far as time. So they don't get to do that. This is the money piece. This is the life-changing piece. If you want to save lives, this is the business changing. This is the game changer. So you've got to make sure we have that and time for that. If we don't have the rapport piece, we're not going to build rapport. No one's going to buy from us anyway, because the sandwich is too hard to eat. You ever tried to eat an open-faced sandwich without a knife and fork? Impossible, right? So we need balance between the two. But the beauty of this system that you're going to learn is that when we have more time, we add more meat. We don't change these two. If we have less time, we have less meat. So I often share this story about when I was 5 years old, my mom used to make me bologna sandwiches. She had two pieces of Wonder Bread, a little bit of mayo, which was Miracle Whip. Anybody remember that stuff? Miracle Whip, and one piece of bologna, and would give it to me and my brothers, right, to eat. Now, if she missed the bologna, I would have noticed, but I didn't notice the difference between one piece or 2 pieces of bologna. It was fine. Same with your audience, but they know if you didn't give them a nugget of information, one piece of meat. But even talking about the Wonder Bread, and bologna and Miracle Whip, it's a wonder I'm alive today, right? Health experts, right? It's a wonder I'm alive. Wonder Bread. Have you in your youth ever had sugar bread? Anybody?
Yes.
Well,
Yes. 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 Absolutely. It was the only way I would eat bread. It had to have sugar on it.
Yeah. Well, and again, we weren't rich or anything, so we couldn't afford candy and stuff. So my brothers and me would get home from school and take a piece of Wonder Bread, put sugar on it, sometimes buttered all over sugar, total sugar, and just eat that sucker. I mean, oh my God. Now,
I didn't think anybody else did that besides me. I was the only one in the house that did that.
yeah, I did it. We did it. Beth, did you do it?
We did it. A neighbor came and showed my girls this. I could have killed her, but she used butter, of course, on the Wonder Bread, and she used sugar sprinkles to make it colorful, and then she toasted it.
Oh
So
my
it
God.
was like, it smelled heavenly. Oh, it was delicious, and we are still stuck with sugar toast today.
I would do it with cinnamon and sugar.
Yeah,
That is good. Cinnamon.
but nothing like colorful sprinkles, I'll tell you.
I'm going to have to try that.
Okay, all right, so what we're gonna do now is get into our very beginning piece. And that is our attention grabber, which is again, one of the most important pieces to start our presentation. Now, I know you've all seen people do attention grabbers. So there's all kinds of different ones, but I recommend for business anyway, 3 of them. And we are on page 11. One of them is enrolling questions, which is really popular. Why? Because they work so well, right? They work so well. So enrolling questions, you enroll the audience into your question and physically. So now the brain is working, you've got your physical being. There's no way anybody could be thinking about anything else or looking at their cell phone or looking at emails because they're engaged. That's why they work so well. That's why so many people use them. But if done right, you don't really notice. It's not like someone's going, oh, you know, she's using it. No, they just participate. So your enrolling question is 2-part, not 3 and not 1. Now, it can be 1, but it's 1 when you're doing video. It's 1 when you're doing Facebook Lives. For those of you, right, Karen, when you want to do video, because you're looking in the camera, you're only talking to one person, right? When you're on video. But when you're speaking in a speaking engagement, whether it's virtual or not, you are speaking to everybody because you don't want to leave anybody out. So you say it differently if it's on video or lives. Okay, but signature group, it builds on one another and they're benefit driven, they're positive. So in other words, you wouldn't say, how many, right, Alice? How many of you claim bankruptcy, right? You wouldn't say that because you're not going to get anybody to raise their hand, even if they did, right? How many of you are really in debt up to your ears, right? How many of you are losing your home to foreclosure?
How many of you are drowning?
There you go. How many of you are drowning in debt? I mean, even though those are great questions, people probably aren't going to raise their hand. So we want to make them positive, right? How many of you would like to be debt-free forever? How many of you not only want to be debt-free forever, but you want to have money in the bank? You know, so something like that. So you say the first one, you redo the first one to make it, because not everybody caught everything the first time, and then you bring it on home with something else, right? So I might say, how many of you want more clients? How many of you not only want more clients, but you want a steady flow of clients, right? How many of you want to look great at any age? How many of you not only want to look great, but you want to feel great too? You know, so just take your title, the ideas in the title. If you get lost, it's always there. That's what you promised. Now, don't feel bad about reiterating the title because no one heard your title. Remember, they read it somewhere on an email, but they didn't hear it. You don't stand up and go, my title is. No, you just, that gets them in the room through email or through a flyer, and then boom, you reiterate the title, and that's the promise that they're going to get. So let's just take a few minutes. Right? Oh, I got to tell you the other two. Sorry, I was just so excited about that one. Then, but if that doesn't work for everybody, especially for help or medical, and since we have some nurses here, right? Sometimes we need to scare them with the pain, like Karen mentioned earlier. So then we would use a statistical statement. And statistics, the rules are staggering, so it has to be a big one. It has to be odd because they're more believable. That's why if you read statistics in the newspaper, they're always odd. 83.5, they're not like 80%. And they need to be current. They need to be absolutely true and current. There's nothing that drives me battier than seeing somebody's slide of some test or something that says 2010, right? You know, it's like 2010, that was 10 years ago. What do you got for me now? So they really need to be current, probably within a year. So do your homework, do your research. And we don't make them up because someone in your audience could be an expert, just like we have, what, 3 nurses here, right? Or 4, do we have 3? 3, right? So we're not gonna pull anything over their eyes, you know? So they have to be current. So Karen, that could be something like you could say, you know, 83.5% of nurses have burnout before the age of 35 or whatever. What, right? Are you kidding me? Or die, or have a nervous breakdown, or whatever happens to them. So, or get, you know, physically ill, whatever happens to them. So you could use that. 83.5% of all business owners go out of business in the first 3 years. Right, so those are kind of examples of statistics. You only have one, and they're so shocking that everybody's, what? And they don't want to be part of that statistic. So that's the second way, and that's more pain driven. The first one's benefit driven. And then the third one, sometimes it's just like, you know what? We want our own. We don't want statistics. We don't want to ask them questions. We just want to make what I call statement of declaration, right? We just want to come out and boom. So I could say something like, so it's your truth. No, it doesn't have to be proven, doesn't have to be written, it's your truth. So I could come out and say, you have 3 seconds to grab your audience's attention. Big. Right? I've had people that like one of my students was talking about time management. And he came out and said, I'm late, I'm late, I'm late. Right? And that's how he started his speech. That's just his statement. Right? One other gal was talking about health and she comes out, she goes, I have an amazing body. The purpose of the attention grabber is just to grab the attention. Don't you think that grabbed people's attention? I've got an amazing body. We're like, whoa, right? Then you go into and explain and everything like that. So you can have a lot of fun with those statements of declarations. And again, we get that energy, we put it out there, and then it comes back as positive energy. So we put all of our adrenaline and all that nervousness in our attention grabber. Okay, and this is something we do memorize. Beth, did you have a question? Okay, so let's take a few minutes. We're going to take a few minutes and we're going to write that out right now. And we are going to take a break pretty close to 12:30 because I know you're probably.
Can I use like a recent poll? Like for me, I've been sending surveys. So I've talked to about like 60 nurses answered my poll and 83% of them said their biggest challenge in nursing is burnout. Can I use that?
Yes, but you don't say that it's survey because nothing comes before your attention grabber. You can have stuff come afterwards. So you could say 83.5% of nurses have burnout. Yeah, that's right. I got that from a recent poll, right? So you can explain it later. The proof, show social proof or whatever later, but not the attention grabber. So in other words, you never say, good morning, hello, how are you? And then your attention grabber. Now, what I use as my attention grabber is my good morning, if you notice, but it's big. Good morning, everyone. Yes, it is. How are you today? I'm blessed. That's my attention grabber. It's not, oh, good morning, everyone.
Oh my God. That's a skill we're gonna learn, right, Arby? Because that's still out of my comfort zone. I'm like,
well, no, you're right. And so you wouldn't do it. But in your comfort zone is for you is statistics. But we don't want to start out with stories because they're too long. They don't grab people's attention. Finally, people are going, where are you going with this? Don't start out with a joke, right? That is that you're in rapport. You got to give people what they want right now. So it's not about you. It's about building that rapport and grabbing their attention at the same time. All right. So I don't expect any of you to scream out good morning, everyone. That's my deal. But I'm just showing you that that's what I'm doing. And then I'll even have how sometimes I'll say how many of you want more class. Not all the time, but sometimes. All right. What? Luke,
I have to share this with you.
You're cracking up. What?
I have to share this with you. I was asked to give a speech at this is about 3 or 4 years ago. And I was so excited about giving this speech, got myself all ready and everything. I get down to the place. I'm excited to introduce me and whatnot. And it's my turn to go on stage and I look down at my feet and I'm still in my house slippers. I went on stage and I said, a funny thing happened to me on my way to speak with you this morning. I was so excited, I left in my house slippers. And don't you just admire these?
Very good job. Very good job. Exactly what you wanted. Oh, the one that is. I hope they were cute slippers. Were they cute?
Well, they were okay.
Uh,
Not the
that
best.
is-
But the funny thing is I had several people afterwards say, I didn't even notice until you mentioned it.
That's right. All kinds of things can happen to us on the way to the forum, right? One time I was speaking to a big group of 250 women. It's the SCORES Women in Business Owner Conference, and now I'm the chair of it.
Mhm.
But I mean, it was a big deal, right? I spoke at the breakfast, and then they asked me to speak here, and it's a big deal. So I get out there and I have a dress on, so I asked them to put the microphone behind me, right? The lavalier thing. When I used to wear suits, it was easy. You just tuck it behind, on your belt. So I said, I asked some girl, put it in my bra strap, right? And then all of a sudden they called me, which I thought I was going to be at 9:30, but I was like 9:10 and they called me early. So I ran out there because they had called me. Well, this thing slipped through my dress on the ground. It was like I pooped out a microphone thing, right? And I'm like, oh my God. And I'm like right between the door and the stage. And I just had to make a quick decision. I just went, whoops, excuse me, I'll be back. And ran off and got upset. And then afterwards, I just made, like you did, I made a joke out of it, but I did it after I had grabbed their attention. And then I said, how many people just saw that I pooped out a microphone? You never know what's going to happen here, but we're on our way, You have to acknowledge whatever happens. If a plane goes by and it's loud, or a train or whatever, you've got to acknowledge it. You don't acknowledge people, though, if they're late. You don't call them on that. But if something unusual happens and everybody's kind of looking at it, you've got to own it and make it part of your presentation. So good job. Luana, I hope you got a picture of that.
I don't think I do. I
Yeah.
don't think I do.
If anything weird happens, get a picture because you never know. You could use that. You could have used it on your slide, your PowerPoint for some other time, for some other, this is why I journal.
Maybe I'll stage it. I'll get somebody to take a picture of me,
You can do that. Yeah, get some bunny slippers or something. Yeah. Okay, great. So those are the three. So I want you all just make a decision which one, and then over lunch, I want you to write it out. So we're just going to make the decision, attention grabber, statement of declaration, or a statistical. And then at lunch, while you're at lunch, that's your homework. Okay, you're going to write it out because I don't want you to have to write it out in 2 seconds. Okay, all right, so Alice, which one of the three are you going to work on? You're muted. You're muted.
Okay, now it's done.
There we go.
When you say which one of the three, how many of you?
Yeah, so enrolling questions. You're going to do enrolling questions.
Yes.
Okay, perfect. Karen, which one of the three are you going to do? You're muted. You all can stay unmuted, unless there's a gardener.
Noise.
Perfectly okay.
Wait, I'm thinking I want enrolling question and statistics. Can I do both or no?
One or the other. Now, you could use a statistic later in your talk. That's fine.
Oh, okay.
So you can do that. But as an attention grabber, just one. Yeah,
Okay.
one or the other. Okay, so you want enrolling questions?
Mhm.
Okay. All right, Jeanette.
I'm sorry, did you ask me what I'm going to do?
Yes, which one?
I don't know yet. I don't know. I've
Okay.
written out a couple of things. I don't know which direction I'm going to go.
Okay, perfect. My feeling for you is a statement. Your own truth. Yeah.
That's where I was going. Yeah,
Michelle.
I was leaning towards that. Okay.
Okay, good. Michelle,
Oh, I'm going to do an enrolling question.
perfect. Beth, Beth, you're unmuted.
Oh, it's me. This is a question that I've been using, and it's who wants to knock 20 years off their biological age?
Okay, how many of you want to knock 20 years off?
Yeah.
I'd say age. You don't have to say biological, but age. And
Okay.
what's your what would be your second one then?
My second one was, how fast are you aging? Oh, did I hear too fast? That's what I would say.
They don't go together.
Oh, okay.
One go together. One builds on top of the other. So you work on that.
Okay.
Yeah, but go ahead and read page 11 and 12, and you'll
Okay,
know what I'm talking
okay.
about. Okay, let's go to Ardina.
Statement of declaration.
Good, I love it. All right, Cheryl.
Okay, I think mine is like a quote or a statement of declaration. I want to say it real quick in case I can't use it at all. I can work on it over lunch. So let me try it out with you guys. I will open up with, this is going to be content rich in mini skirt form. Short enough to be attractive, long enough to cover the content.
That's not
Ooh.
that is not a that's not an attention grabber. Remember, attention grabbers
That's-
are either benefit driven or they're pain
Say it again, benefit driven or what?
or pain related. So go ahead and read 11 and 12, and you'll get more of a feel of what I'm looking for. Now, what you're saying, that's going to come later when we do the welcome. You're going to kind of explain what's going to happen here today. That's perfectly fine. Don't get rid of it. We just use it somewhere else.
Okay.
Okay, we'll use all of your creations.
Harvey, my question though, because mine's so targeted, because I can't say how many of you, because like not all of them are nurses. So how do I,
Well, why not? Why wouldn't they all be nurses?
oh, like example, if I'm doing a live, FB live, where I'm just,
Well, if it's live, you don't do 2 questions. You look right in the face and say, okay, so give me one of yours again.
like how, I'm just thinking like how many of you like feel wants to avoid burnout or,
Okay, so are you going to help people, regular entrepreneurs with burnout as well through your live?
uh-huh.
Okay, so then you can just look right at the camera and say, do you experience burnout? And would you like to stop it? Hi, I'm Karen Retardo, and I'm the burnout queen or expert, whatever, you're dealing, right? So you just, boom, you talk to one person and you picture that one person, like that nurse that's totally burned out, or that guy that's totally, burned out, or, yourself or whatever. Yeah. Video and lives of all kinds. One person, the question is to you, is to them, as if you're around a table and you're asking, are you burned out? Do you wish like maybe you feel better? Well, guess what? I got the answer. Woohoo! That kind of thing. Little different. Same idea, but different. Okay? Yeah, still got to grab their attention, but it's one person. All right, so we are going to take our lunch break now. We are going to take an hour. You're going to have time to not only eat lunch, but to also do this attention grabber. So come back with them done and complete. We'll have an hour and 3 minutes just so we know when to come back. So we'll come back at 1:45. So get some nourishment. I'm going to turn the recording off so we don't have that. I didn't do it during the breaks, but I am going to stop the recording.